After a long hiatus, we are back and we're running. And today we're going to talk about my new theory of YouTube mechanics. And it relates to the movies early parts of the industry. Which Michael did in a very old video that I might link that video below. Basically what I'm saying is that when YouTube started, there was a generation, a frontier generation, if I say. They used the medium to adapt various things. If you look at Gen Archer or Philip D. Horror, I believe, I don't know, or Renato, or maybe even Naltz or S&P Films, old videos of them. You can see the frontier generation start to experiment with media to get that right match. And like the media of YouTube, the movies started like this, showing a different lifestyles, right? That's still in the uh, early films, the Romney Garden scene, or the streets of Paris, for example, or the gardener, or simple little shorts and skits, or light part observation of that. Then came the first generation, the first fictional generation that kind of defined what movie is and what YouTube is, basically. You can call it like Shake Carl and some of in the cool generation. The cools I have called in my YouTube chart as the first generation because they are the kind of initiators of the style of YouTube, the please subscribe button, the monologue, the moniker, that's what I'm saying. Please subscribe moniker, the little skits that kind of incorporate the annotations, also entertaining, the vlogs and the skit kind of melding it together, that kind of stuff. It all happened in the first generation. Kind of relating to Melise and other people of the 1900s, 1910s, for example. I'm not sure when to stop the first generation movies from the second generation movies. I believe it's like the second generation after with the big giant I mean, film studios happened around Hollywood back in the 1910s. I call that the second generation. Basically, the pre-code Hollywood from 1910 to 1930. It's our second generation. It's our generation right now. I think maybe it's not the second generation really as the continuation of the first generation. So who knows? First generation, it was more free. It wasn't strict as before the YouTube, and YouTube was a little bit let down, and YouTube had lost some money, and who knows? They still have lost some money. They don't even tell us right now. Maybe they do have information now below, but. Mm, and basically, it was kind of free range back in 2008, 2009. Who knows? Maybe it was the complete opposite. I'm not sure. There were a lot of things that are like copyrighted, taken down in 2009, or it's the opposite. There were a lot of things for free. Now they're subdued. And probably now is the kind of 1930s, 1940s in the movie section. The first generation is kind of moving away, and second generation. I mean, there's still first generation here and there, but it's all about the second generation now, which was previously the nerds, and now moving into the hip. Now probably moving into the cool as the third generation moved into the hip, and this generational, say generational, it's like 2 years, every 2 years. There's very short life than movie stars, which had their lifetime, their prime effect in high life. Whereas YouTube is just 2 or 3 years basically in the high life before they fade away, or the savvy YouTubers kind of move into the next generation of the Wizzy Waiters, watching the rock group. Remember the Christina, look, Alex. I'm not sure that, but I forgot the other ones. Well, actually, I didn't. I don't want to say them right now. I should have said that one. Okay, alright. Okay. I'm just gonna leave that in. I'm just gonna leave that in. Just embarrassment of the second generation. Those things. I shouldn't be watching those. I feel like a kid. I feel like a kid. Like kid. Okay. Not by myself. It's the second generation. It's the second generation, which is I can call it the next generation. I believe that the next up basically is the second generation trying to move into the second generation, kind of moving at the first generation who did all this stuff and made more people to YouTube scene to basically show them really that YouTube is an evolving community, not something that rises then just stops. Something that kind of rises and kind of overturns and can have the continuous new freshness that is good for commercials because they need new freshness all the time. They need something or someone that could sell them without getting too boring. So they need more people. They need new people, and the next generation is something that they could do that as well as the first generation. So I think that kind of the overturn from the first generation to second generation is a very important step for YouTube because it shows that they're a right part of the medium. They're right part of the rightful medium. They're not just people doing stuff. They're just people doing good entertainment, and that's why commercials should look for it. I don't know. I'm just thinking more economic ways and more entertainment ways. But I believe there is that kind of generational move coming on. And the third generation kind of did that. And the VidCon is also doing that really well as kind of a facilitator. Facilitator. Tater. It's like an old, really old tater, right? A facilitator. No. Facilitator of of YouTube. Facilitator of YouTube kind of having that media, the old medias plus the old stars with the new stars and aspiring stars. They're just like stars. They're like new and stars. They're not yet stars, but could be. And they all four kind of mingle and kind of grow this, so they kind of the machine could work. There's always kind of that machine of people having auditions, talking about music and taking auditions and having a training, then people will go to the studio or something and could have a manager or something. The studio and the box office and everything kind of working as a machine to get the best out of media or the best the audience want to watch or they think is the audience. And this is really, the YouTube's really good because it's more audience participates and it's subscribers that they look good, not money. I know. It's subscribers they look at. Something more democratic to me than rather than just money. Or is it just same? Having money is like same as I mean like subscribing it shows that they like it. I mean like $1 million they made $1 million money, maybe $200,000. That money came from people that like think they like it but didn't like it at all or something. And so making more of that thing will be dissatisfaction for that 20% of the population. Okay, it's 20%. Maybe put it to 60% of the population instead of 20%. It's not much to go on with that. I mean, unless it makes a lot of money, so who cares? But subscribers, you kind of have that need to like it to subscribe. If they don't like it, they're not going to subscribe, and So there's no audience involved. It's very hands-on, and that's really good for the work. I mean, the old media is just catching up with that idea, like how web could sell money, which is I think is the next step for web. Who knows? I believe the next new medium is gonna come in 10 years. You know, like a experimental stage, 10 years. Probably gonna be on house stage in 2050.